Hi guys, I just wanted to make a follow-up video to my previous video that I had made and discuss things a bit more in detail about high blood pressure and what the effects are that it can have on your body. I also wanted to discuss hyperanogenic POTS, which is what we discussed during the last video. I'm doing good. There has been a lot of developments. I went on a very nice trip to Tahiti and things are looking positive with the current treatment plan. But high blood pressure, I think, is a very important thing to talk about. What is it, and how does it affect us? There's a lot of common misconceptions, and someone who I suffer from high blood pressure on a consistent basis, I think it's important that I suffered, that it's important that I share some secrets, some supplements secrets that have helped with my volatile, as they call it in the labile, whatever, in the medical industry. And they try to pill you up with a lot of beta blockers and a whole different type ranges of medicine. But before we get into all of that, what is good blood pressure? We all know, or if we don't, good blood pressure is 120 over 80. Now, it's important not to get stuck on the numbers. I need you to understand that there is times that your blood pressure is going to be high when there's an emotional situation that has happened, when you're going up the stairs and you're carrying weights, your blood pressure can be over 200 and the bottom number can be 140. So you need to realize that that's normal temporarily. So there's different levels of blood pressure, right? Essential hypertension is very bad because your blood pressure is consistently elevated, and that's an emergency if it's above 180, 120. But if your blood pressure is temporarily elevated, what you need to do is control the peaks. And that's something that we have in our adrenergic situation where we have really high peaks in our blood pressure. And we need to learn how to control these peaks. Everyone has unique triggers. Some people are triggered by intense emotions. Some people are triggered by very aged foods that have a lot of norepinephrine builders. So we have to be really cautious and know ourselves. We can't just take generic medicines and expect them to work on all of us. We need to find out whether or not our hormones are balanced. So doctors don't always look for these things when they're giving us blood tests. They just look for general potassium levels. They look for sometimes they'll look for magnesium levels, but they'll check your CBC, red blood cell, and white blood cell counts. They'll check certain things to make sure you're not immediately in risk, but they don't check a lot of the finer details like your testosterone level, your other critical hormone balance levels that help your body maintain the nervous system balance for your body to have a healthy amount of blood pressure. And you want the difference to be, at least 30 points. So you want 120 over 90 or 120 over 80 is very nice. 90 is a bit high in diastolic, but that's normal. There's these numbers that they're creating that are very intense and they're scaring us into even higher blood pressure numbers. My experience is as I lay down, my blood pressure is 110 over 60, and this is due to my condition. And I sit up, my blood pressure is 130 over 80. I stand up, my blood pressure is 150, 100. I'm still here with you, and I'm having a good life. It used to be a lot worse. I used to have massive surges of adrenaline in my body, and every evening I would be in the emergency room, potentially, I would say once every couple of nights. So it's important to learn your body, and that's going to take time. So the whole point of what I'm telling you is don't be afraid of blood pressure spikes. They're not going to kill you. It happens during intense moments, and it's okay. But it's better to control these peaks just in case something bad potentially does happen. One thing that does help control our body's response and our nervous system balance is an amino acids called taurine. Not many people know about it, but it is one of the more abundant amino acids, and there are several brands out there in the market. But I want you to research what taurine is. It's very easy. Just Google it, Taurine. It's taurine. It's an amino acid chain. It's very abundant in our heart. If you look at the Amazon reviews, if you look up Amazon taurine on Amazon and look at user reviews, a lot of people who had PVCs, which is premature ventricular contractions on their heart, people who have heart problems, they start taking that, and medicines that the doctors were prescribing them did not help them, and this taurine compound really did. Why is that? Because it modulates your heart, the conductivity of the electricity in your heart. It allows it to work better, right? So you don't have arrhythmias. It also calms your nervous system. It also calms your sympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight hormone, which you don't want. You don't want that to be engaged. So think about our life today and how stressed out we are about jobs. Think about how we're always worrying about how we didn't achieve our goals, or if there's rent to be paid, or if we're in a relationship, we're not sure if that person's right for us, or if they're right for us. Sometimes we fight with them. There's a lot of ups and downs. So life is stressful. It's not as simple as it was in the past. And we have evolved to cope with it through our sympathetic nervous system. Our sympathetic nervous system reacts by dumping a whole bunch of adrenaline into our body. And what happens when our body is dumping adrenaline is our blood pressure skyrocketing. Our heart rate is either going really high, or our baroreflexes, which are right here in our body, these control the modulation of blood in our system. Our baroreflexes start lowering our heart rate to really low numbers, and a condition called bradycardia occurs. So it's very important to have taurine in your body to help modulate and calm your sympathetic nervous system. 1,000 milligrams, I would say, is a good amount. The brand that I use, and I do not work for them, but I think they're a good brand, Source Naturals. Let me grab this for and show you guys. This is the bottle that I use, Source Naturals Taurine. 1,000. It's a soothing neurotransmitter, it says. It is a crystalline amino acid that stabilizes the heartbeat and electrical activity of the nerves. It is necessary for the proper functioning of the body's energy. It's an important amino acid, and it gets depleted when we are stressed out. Please do your research. Make sure you talk to your doctor if you have to. I don't really think doctors know much about this stuff. They're trained on beta blockers and antiandrogenic agents, which we'll talk about the next episode. Feel free to leave a comment in the messages and tell me. I'm going to talk about CoQ10 next time we make a video. But I wanted to get the general consensus on blood pressure. So if your blood pressure and you're stressed and you measure blood pressure, it's 160 over 100 or 180 over 120, relax. You're walking up the stairs, your blood pressure is 200 over 120. Relax, you're not going to die. It's only if your blood pressure is intensely high all the time, then you have a big problem. So if you lay down and you measured your blood pressure and it was really high, and then you measured it after an hour or 30 minutes, and it's still really, really high, call 911 and have them help you. But that is rare. Darken your room, relax, ensure that you're on the right diet and getting at least a little bit of exercise. It's very difficult for me as well. I hate exercise personally, but it's crucial. And I think you'll come to, and once the medicine intervention is necessary, and with my condition, I'm on several different medicines, and I will discuss those in future episodes. Once you figure out that your body's balance is at a certain level, then you'll be able to modulate it with some medicine, increase the medicine intake, and that will assist you with balancing your nervous system. Because always remember that your blood pressure, your heart, everything that you have, every organ is connected to your brain. Your brain is the electrical system that signals health, signals peace, calm, or anger, or frustration, and your body going crazy. I mean, everything is connected to your brain. You are what you believe. Never forget that. So if you believe you're sick, if you believe that you're not going to get better, you're not going to get better. But if you end up in the hospital one day and you say, I'm going to get out of this situation, I'm going to do my best, then your brain fully, firmly believes that you're going to be okay. Or if you're not, at least you gave it a really good shot. Your brain is fighting with you as opposed to against you if you're living in fear. So never forget that dynamic. So there's a big connection between your nervous system and what the messages the central nervous system sends to your body, between your health, your wellness. If you think about people who have lived a very, very long time, a lot of them tell you that the secrets to good health involve a good supplemental intake of specific nutrients, but also a very calm life. They haven't had massive reactions to these dynamic emotional events in their lives that really push them to the limit, because that really wears you down. It tears you apart. It makes your brain function in a way that it releases and dumps a whole bunch of norepinephrine, adrenaline into your body, and that stretches out your blood vessels. And you never want your blood vessels to lose their elasticity. You want your blood vessels to remain stiff, not stiff, but in a way mobile. You want them to adjust accordingly. And probably getting into too many details. But taurine, very good for everyone. Um, Take it and take care of yourself and be well. And please feel free to message me anytime if you need any additional help. We'll discuss CoQ10 in the next session, and we'll discuss a few medicines that reduce noradrenaline, norepinephrine dumps in your body, the medicines that help me get back on my feet. I wish you all the best. Take care.